welcome to this town council meeting, and especially this council for March, who's leading the town council. And also very early we start the meeting with a couple of question time. The public are welcome to ask questions to the council on matters to the wires and the questions should not be a statement, and it would be appreciated if we get short to maximise the time for other questions. Can I call the question from those who indicated they wish to speak? Russell Thompson. Russell.
Is the council aware St Michael's Church in the Sunnyside district of East Grinstead is planned to close and be sold off? It's the last remaining church community facility in this part of town, which feels isolated by its geography. Will the council join the parishioners and community users to support the appeal against St Swithin's Church to keep this community open?
Thank you very much for your question. Did you say St Swithin's is going to be sold off?
No, not St Swithin's, sorry, that's St Barnabas Church.
Oh, St Barnabas.
But St Swithin's Church.
Oh, got you.
It's
That's
the building.
Thank you very much for your question. Tell me,
I'll address this, Thompson.
of course you can.
Very much for your question. I'm one of the ward councillors for Herons High. It's only come to our attention this morning, and the town council will look at if there's any role for the town council in this, because we would like to keep that as a community use. I know that I'll have my library surgery set at some stage, so I'm quite fond of that church that it's a good community asset. But we will look into that and get back to it at some stage when we know. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm long term, it's on the agenda, and I'm happy to have a dialogue.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure, thank you. Was there any other member of the public wishing to ask a question? Apologies for absence. I believe that we have, this is not the committee, are there any other apologies?
No, this council is not.
Thank you very much indeed. And Mrs. Montford is currently on shift at Queen Victoria Hospital. Can I have, I propose that we accept the apologies. Thank you very much indeed, that's down. We can have a show of hands to accept the apologies. Thank you very much indeed. The next town council meeting held on the 5th of May 2021 and the 17th of June. I would like to propose those. Can I have a second? Second, that's out. Thank you very much. Are there any questions regarding the accuracy or anything? In which case, can I have a show of hands to accept those? Thank you very much. Can I have any declarations, personal or pecuniary effects in the matters to be discussed this evening? No interest whatsoever. Right, thanks ever so much. That's very kind. And town announcements. You've seen your list of my engagements for the last couple of months or so. I would particularly like to refer you to, of course, Matt Retirement unveiling that this was its chairman on Saturday. It was a privilege. It was quite moving, and it was a privilege to represent you guys, everybody. That's what I was there for. That's what we were there for, to represent everybody, the town council. It was a privilege, and we were treated to some terrific rugby afterwards. Tribute girls did like it was quite a lot. Anyway, moving swiftly on, to receive such communications as the leader of the council may desire to lay before the council. Over to Councillor Swain.
Tell me, I've not got much to debate tonight, because I know we're all waiting to hear the leader from West Sussex County Council to give as much time as he can to us tonight. But I will say I think it's really nice to go back to those meetings. It's been a difficult 18 months, but let's hope we can really start moving on with our projects now. We've got some working groups set up, so we can much better deal with that business face to face. So I think we can move forward very quickly and catch up. Obviously, to remind everyone that the variant is very much still out there. It means they can't get affected, so I think we need to be mindful of how we conduct ourselves, within our meetings and outside. So I do have some updates in my planning FG minutes, so I will give those. So thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much indeed, and I do you'll see my engagements. I will ask you please. To dispose of any business outside of the last meeting, there is none. And so we have two critical people speakers tonight. Principal Council update from the leader of West Sussex County Council, which is Councillor Marshall, followed by our very own Jackie Russell, who's going to give us an update as well. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Do you want me to stand up or should I sit?
Please do.
Okay, but I noticed that you were standing up, so I wasn't sure quite, but I do that. First and foremost, thank you very much for letting me attend this evening. My name is Paul Marshall. I am the leader for West Sussex County Council. I was leader for just under the last 2 years under the previous election, and have since been sort of re-elected under the new term, sort of going forward. I thought it would be useful just to give just some really an overview of where the council sort of been, where it's going, and what its sort of priorities are. I think all of you will be aware that 2 years ago we had manifest some really significant challenges around the county. We needed to improve our children. We needed to focus on improving our fire rescue service. There was, sort of demands for us to improve our sort of governance, our transparency, and sort of decision making. And I'm pleased to say that over the last 2 years, we've made enormous progress. And when I acknowledge that progress, I acknowledge it because externally it's being acknowledged. So, we're not sort of marking our own homework in this context. And as it happens, Jackie Russell, Councillor Jackie Russell, is the cabinet member of the Children and People, and sterling work, enormous sterling work. And prior to that, Councillor Liz Bennett was also part of their advisor in the previous term. So I think, we have made huge headways in redesigning our children and young people services to really reflect the need of our communities out there. Sometimes, the challenges that our families have with children and young people, it's not always recognised just the degree of what those challenges are. You only know it when there's a family who're in trouble and you need some help within that. So, recognise our residents will mostly be more concerned about all the general stuff, such as our infrastructure, our highways and so forth. But one of the biggest responsibilities that West Sussex County Council do, and it is statutory responsibility, is safeguarding our children, young people and our adults. Absolutely critical. That's where circa nearly 80% of the revenue is spent on. That's out there, it's understated, and it's undertaking that sort of critical work. At one point, it was determined that the children's services would go into a trust, and that's been deferred, pending a review in October. The Department for Education have never ever reversed a decision to not put a children's services into a trust. They've always maintained that, but I'm pleased to say, and that's important, that this was under the endorsement of our commission, who is responsible for overseeing, recommending to the DfE for them to suspend the trust because of the significant progress we've made. And that's the next one. And it's not about the badge of not going into trust. If Children's Trust was the most appropriate model that we could deliver children's services, then that's where we'll go. It's not about who runs or owns what, it's about how we can deliver those best services. So, there's really positive endorsements and significant progress of what we have to do. Likewise, in our fire and rescue service, we have a chief fire officer, Sabrina Cohen-Hatton, who's exemplary in her leadership skills in terms of taking forward, and with her and the team, we've made enormous progress again. And again, that's been endorsed externally, particularly from, if I can remember the title, the Managing Inspector of Fire and Rescue and Police Services. I'm sure I got that slightly wrong, but that's also sort of been endorsed. And to the point of that, we further managed to invest another 20 million to develop a state-of-the-art fire station, training centre, which was much needed. So that's a county. And then in addition to that, one of the other key elements that we put in is around our governance. I was a bit surprised because, public cabinet, which is principally, where decision making is made in public, used to take place probably once or twice a year at council. Most of the decision making was done behind doors, and it was done to individual cabinet. I'm not saying that they were inappropriate, sort of decisions being made. They clearly were very appropriate, but they weren't transparent. And as you will know, being a town council here, sometimes it is important to see the voters why decisions are made, as opposed to just one decision. So it helps give that depth as well. And we've been running public cabinet for just over the 18 months, and it's done extremely well, and sort of very encouraging. And we made more steps to improve the scrutiny, and to make that more visible, that more collegiate, and that more transparent within there. So over and above that, of course, these were significant challenges that we've made, underlying a backdrop of a pandemic that we all had. So we haven't taken our eye off the ball. We've been very much focused. We've sort of targeted that. In terms of West Sussex Council, it spends over £1 billion a year on services throughout the county, of which 600 million is raised through our sort of residents before the tax. So really important that we demonstrate value for money and effective value for money that proves delivering the services. And it's quite a sizable, sizable sum. And the council has, employed circa 5,000 people within the organisation, and that's both within fire rescue, within school support, within our social workers, within our sort of waste collection. So it's an enormous sort of organisation in terms of that. One of the things, clearly, the challenges we've got going forward, there are a number of them. One, we've got the impact of climate, and this is an overriding impact for us, as we know, for all local authorities, yourself included. Absolutely critical, the decisions we're making going forward, that the impact that is made within the climate and the environment that is taken into consideration, and we build that into our sort of decision making process that's going forward. But I think probably the challenge is, we are still in a pandemic. And I know you know, obviously their talk, and there was just, you know, disclosed this evening by the Prime Minister about the uncoupling of those COVID preventative measures, which is still there. In our worlds, it's still there, it's very physical. Whether we have to wear masks or not is an important issue, but personally, it's still present in where we live. You know, and we've got to be very mindful of that. So I think the challenges we've got around our, you know, children and young people going forward, around particularly in regards to access to mental health, and how we can catch up in the education gap that's been there, and that's enormously significant. We've got our sort of adult, you know, care that's out there. We are a county that has a high proportion of residential homes. It's very much a commercial, sort of large area business. You know, we probably have something like 8,500 registered beds for residential care, which county probably buys about 30% of that market. The other market is self-funded, primarily. But we know the impact that our elderly residents have had, and that industry, and it's had some real challenging times, but we've got to help that become more resilient and get through that. But in addition to that, we've got to link that with our health partners. And one of the benefits, if there is a benefit of the pandemic, it's demonstrated that we just cut to the chase and make important decisions that we need to make for our residents that need our help at that time. And that is enabled us to probably make decisions for the days of which it would have taken 3 to 6 months, arguing about whose budget it is. And that's, you know, has really demonstrated some positive steps, and that's leading to a huge piece of work now, where we're looking at how we can integrate what's called an ICS, an integrated care system, where we can work to share budgets with our health partners and the adult social care to make sure that we tailor the services to meet their needs jointly, and that's a huge thing. The other real challenge is building back our economy. Now, clearly, West Sussex County Council will have a number of roles within the economic recovery. It will have a director's groups, we're a big spender on services and goods. So we want to make sure that we can support our local businesses and organisations within that area, but we're also influencers. We're also enablers, so we have a number of hats that we do that, but the economy is absolutely critical. Without providing the economy, people won't have jobs. Jobs can't afford a home. And it's about making sure that we prioritise, so we have you know, an economic reset plan, which is going to focus on this and work with all our sort of partners collectively. And I'm a board member of the local enterprise partnership as well. And I think one of the other key challenges coming at us, and we all know this, is planning reform. We demand a house in our county. And we need to make sure that, and the problem is, you know, there is a slight dichotomy in local government. You've got districts and boroughs who are the planning authority, who have a really challenging job to develop a 5-year land supply. But what doesn't tend to get into that conversation is the strategic infrastructure that needs to sit with it. And when I mean infrastructure, I'm not just talking about roads or transport, and I mean public transport as well, but it's about health services, it's about our education provision, it's about community access. So there's real pressure, you know, and they tend to come after the event. And that's not good enough. We've got to make sure that they coexist side by side. And that's, you know, part of what the planning reform, where we're putting a lot of pressure, along with our MPs. You know, all our MPs have to really focus on it, you know, and support this argument, you know, critically. But what's also essentially is, the homes we do are the right homes for the people that live in the communities that are affordable. And these are real challenges for us, and we have to do. So there's, and that's just to name, a number of those areas really, which are sort of demanded. What I'm extremely pleased with, I know we've got a very capable group of members within the West Sussex County Council who are really committed to delivering these services. And financially, we've got our challenges, but we are robust enough to deliver those services. One of the things we have to recognise is that there is a finite resource, and we have to make sure that the money we spend is on the priorities that are there. And that sometimes does mean we have to make, choices about things. So the problem is we know we all like to do, lots of things, but sometimes doing too much means you fail. If we can focus on what's critical and critical for our residents, and make sure that that resource is spent appropriately, then that's what we'll do. But I'm, confident that our financial management plan is quite robust and will continue to, deliver those services in a very targeted way. I'm mindful that I will close on that one. I'll be happy for any questions. Hopefully, members here today.
We can watch slides if we hold off for a minute. That's what I'd like to do. It's okay with you. Is around Councillor Mrs. Russell to this update as well. And then we'll throw the whole thing open to questions from us. That's all right, people. Absolutely.
Okay, so coming to local matters, I mean, there's quite a lot going on locally at the moment. So I picked the key ones, and I also thought I'd give you an update on my portfolio of children. I know Councillor Marshall's touched on the whole overarching strategic vision, but I just wanted to sort of, highlight a couple of things which I think are really worth mentioning. So locally, St Margaret's Loop. So I know this has been a long ongoing situation. I had a meeting with Clark a few weeks ago, and I understood that there's become a bit of a deadlock between railway cars and the town council particularly. So just to cut a long story very short, I went back to West Sussex, and as it's been some time since I was last involved, there's been a change of officer. So I've located the new officer who is now on the case. And I've also spoken to the cabinet member, the new Pilots cabinet member, which is Councillor Joy Davis. So you know the bridges are in private ownership of railway parks, but in order for West Sussex to be able to consider adopting these bridges, they require loading assessments to be done. And it really is, it's the role of the owner to carry out those loading assessments, and currently we're finding that there's a bit of resistance to this, but until we actually get these loading assessments done, we can't assess what kind of commutable sum that we would want from railway paths to be handed over to West Sussex in order to formally adopt the bridges. So the next step is for the officer, for the area highways manager, to arrange a meeting with railway paths to see if we can break that deadlock. And we also have the cabinet member in there as well. She's also been up and visited the bridges herself, so she's well started on this, and is also seeking to see how she can intervene. And I'm aware that the clerks also at the MP, and I believe the MP is having a meeting with the railways minister. So that's where that is with St Margaret's Loop. I'm not really sure that this is through Swinsted, but it's between Swiss and National Swiss. I'm going to mention it anyway, but then some of you will probably know about Hector's name, particularly Councillor Belsey. And really the latest situation on that is that with regard to the planning application for a MARS, the planning officer has reviewed the plans and gone back to ask for further information regarding the disability display requirements. We still haven't had that information back. And I was rather hoping that I'll have a further update tonight, but I understand that's going to be coming tomorrow, so not out in the public domain as yet, but I'll let everybody know tomorrow where where that stands so far with Mid Sussex. Moving on to Morton Road, again, discussions are still ongoing with highways and Mid Sussex planning the application. They're still waiting confirmation with regards to the small scale redesign. There are concerns about the size of garages and parking on the actual site. And they need information in order to determine the level of overspill parking, which obviously will affect the local roads. And I was actually quite shocked to discover that actually it's now considered totally acceptable to park 200 metres away from your house. So if Morton Road residents are really adversely affected, someone can find themselves parking over in Millway or up on Stevenson Drive, and that's considered acceptable. I don't have an update on that at the moment, but that's where that's currently sitting. Evergreen Farm, so I met with the residents in Standon, down Standon, to discuss their many concerns regarding this application, and some of you know that went to committee on the 29th of June. I went to the committee meeting, although some of you watched the meeting, and I undertook to give a 10-minute presentation on the concerns, largely around highways. But my conclusion was that I didn't think the application at this particular point in time demonstrated overriding need, and I don't think that they investigated alternatives. And I think the committee were largely in agreement with that, and they actually resolved the application was actually deferred. It was deferred on the basis of reconsideration of details and options for implementation of clay, soil waste in terms of HGV movements, and also volume need for the amount of imported material. So where we're at the moment is that the planning officers will be going back to the applicant to try and work this out, and it's possible it will come back in September, but it's not. So just moving on a little bit to children's. So children's, obviously, Councillor Marshall has, given an overview of that, but the trajectory is forward. We have an absolutely, I can't say it enough, an excellent senior leadership team in place, and they are permanent. And I can't tell you, having briefly in the beginning worked with interims, and it's absolutely no disrespect to interim senior leaders, but there isn't the same level of ownership as you get when somebody's currently in a position, and it just makes a massive difference. And we have just a fantastic team, and we're incredibly lucky. So our trajectory is moving forward all the time, but there is still a lot to do. And the good thing about that is that the team know what needs to be done. Everybody's very excited on the weekends. So straight after the county elections, we had an Ofsted monitoring visit on the 18th, 19th of May, and basically that found that we were making great progress, but there were still areas generally in management oversight and variability in quality of practice, social work practice that still needed quite a bit of improvement. The service know that, and they've known it for a long time, and they have plans in place, and I'll continue to develop their staff. And what we're actually starting to see is gradually that ethos is trickling down into the staff, particularly around the concept of audit. Our team, our social workers were very, very uncomfortable when they were first sort of passed 6-8 months ago to try and embrace the idea of audits, which is basically having some self-reflection where your pension policies is taken out, your advice is taken out for review, and then you have an auditor who reviews it, and then a moderator who reviews the auditor, and then everybody sits around the table and talks through the case. And initially that was quite a difficult task for a lot of social worker staff to undertake, because I think they were coming from a defensive position rather than coming from the point of view that it's actually quite a constructive thing to do. That's actually starting to trickle through now and is really paying dividends. So it will take time to turn around that element of culture, but I think once that turns around, the momentum will just continue on. So in terms of the monitoring visit, it pretty much looks exactly where we expect to be. Pretty much a mixed bag, got some very good examples of practice and some areas where we still have work to do. I think probably the flagship sort of announcement I'm dying to make is around our children's homes. You probably remember that we had 3 children's homes that were closed, and invested a significant amount in refurbishing those children's homes, around 6 million. And they are all now refurbished, and we also had 3 homes that remained open. So the refurbished homes are all just a bunch of ones open, and there are some children in it, and that's Sister Lodge, which is down the road, which is amazing, an amazing place for children with very, very complex needs. That's now got children into it, and that's been renamed Bright Star. There are 2 other homes, Seaside in Worthing, which was the first to close. That's now been renamed Breakwater and May House, and they should open very shortly. But the 3 homes that have remained open constantly, which all sit in the north of the county, which is Orchard House, High Trees, and Teasdale Close, are all now rated as outstanding. And to give you some kind of perspective, only 8% of all children's homes nationally are rated as outstanding. West Sussex have all of their homes currently open, which is a massive achievement. But again, we've got, I can't underestimate you the dedication of the staff, particularly the residential home manager, Julie Speaks, absolutely passionate and committed. And I can say that for all the people that are in the homes, that work in the homes as well. It's such a privilege to have done this job for these people. They really do some amazing stuff. In terms of sort of the way we do things at county now, obviously again, Councillor Marshall's talked about how we're working on scrutiny. We've become very child-centred, and indeed we do have young people sitting on our children's scrutiny committee. They come from the youth cabinet members actually, Parliament. And they also sit on boards that are not publicised, not in public domain, like the Council now, which Council Bennett also sits on with myself, and we have members of the Children Care Council on that, and also on what I chair, which is Children's First Board, which is a partnership board, and that's made up of officers, myself and the Education Cabinet member, and partners, we have partners with police, and people, Children Care, and Children Care Council, and also members of the Youth Father. And you know, there's some. It's quite amazing actually how children, young people, turn into the dynamic of a conversation on the Saturday committee, and they really enrich the whole discussion. That's really, all I can say about that is it's just fantastic to sit there and listen to them, share their experiences, and learn so much from it. And probably the last thing just to touch on is, as you probably know, there's been some discussions about the Open Health redesign, which is all about redesigning, basically aligning our own health model, getting to families early before they need that statutory intervention of social care, which is obviously working directly with families, and it's less traumatic than if we're working directly with them. But if they need to that, then they go into statutory intervention, that becomes quite traumatic, and it's also very costly to the taxpayer. So it's our goal really to reach as many families as possible as early as possible. And the current model where we reside in a number of buildings, 43 buildings, doesn't work for these families, because these families generally don't tend to walk into these buildings. So it's not about buildings in terms of the redesign of this service. It's actually about delivering the best service to get to families early enough to improve the outcomes for those families and to avoid the need for there to be any statutory intervention. So this has been ongoing for about 6 months. In January, we've had a public consultation, and we've had an absolutely amazing response to that public consultation. Over 10,000 people actually went through the hub, and about 2,000 people actually commented. I would say 1 in 6 of those was a child or a young person. So we've got a real cross-section of people that have shared their views. That actually goes to scrutiny on the 20th of July, and then the next final decision public cabinet on the 27th of July. So that's just a little bit of an overview, but that's the market.
Well, shit, I feel as if I'm around the applause. Thank you. Very, very comprehensive. I know the question is the first person want to ask the question. So,
I'd like to thank Councillor Russell, particularly Councillor Day, on tremendous amount of work that you do at council, representing this district, and your rapport with the 7 to 9. I'm I'm going to say that in front of your leader, because you spoke brilliantly at the end from management together with council. So I have to say we spoke very possibly understand that's this point. Just a question for Councillor Marshall, just briefly. You'll be aware that we have northern borders with Surrey Council and Cambridge District Council, particularly in terms of planning. Potentially we have the Sussex District Council have got a site application gone for examination. Potentially the Feldage area could have a further 750 houses. Clearly, the junction of A22 and 264 is severe, cumulative severity. Can you comment on any? We need a solution to that junction in particular, and the northern part of the town, particularly if those remaining volume houses come down the track.
Yeah, okay, thank you for that question. Actually, Councillor Nicholas did highlight this issue with some of the shared aspects of that A22 with Surrey in the border, and the fact that we rely on Surrey 106 months to make any improvement. It sounds a bit bizarre, and it's a significant route, a major route actually. What I'll do is I'll set up a meeting with Joy Dennis, the cabinet member for highways and infrastructure, with Jackie, and we'll see how we can unpick this and see what we can do. And try and remove some of this this Surrey reliance. We'll have a look at it. We'll ask Jackie to come back to you with regards to the product.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Tanner, and thank you, Councillor Marshall, Councillor Russell. A lot of issues raised, and Councillor has already touched on the major junction improvement points. I was just going to highlight as well just two things. Firstly, obviously, acknowledge one of the key issues in this infrastructure. We are currently working as a partnership with Sussex, also West Sussex, and the town has produced a local site and walking infrastructure plan for each implement. I know we will be extremely grateful for attention to be given to this when we have that plan in place as and when funding becomes available to improvements, not just on the major junctions that Councillor has highlighted, but also generally being able to improve our walking and crossing, cycling crossings around the town. But I did also want to just raise that this summer, with the combination of weather, rain, and sunshine, and the fastest great conditions since records began, along with the increased focus on our environment, more particular focus on our villages, many of which are responsible by Sussex. Until this week, the villages in these regions hadn't been scheduled for cuts instead of April. And after 2 months of the fastest growing conditions ever, as you would expect, some residents are appalled at the length of the grass and got concerns about visibility, dangerous junctions, etc. But yet others welcome the grass length due to the pollinators and enhancements to biodiversity, etc. And at the moment, there are no sort of Dr. Birch schemes alive in East Grimsby. I just wanted to ask, is there an opportunity to look again at highways cutting and seek to get the best of both worlds? For example, trimming back from the curbside, but leaving greater grass where they're safe to do so. I'd really welcome your thoughts as to what you think of the position about villages and what you would like to see going forward, and whether we can change the patterns, recognising, of course, even our towns, such as Brixton, got areas that are fully residential, but also those that are more rural, still in neighbourhoods. And how do you think we should take that going forward?
Thank you, Councillor Burton. I think there is a bit of a mixed bag, and we see that from our own residents. I mean, in our rural locations, then, allowing virgins to grow to help pollination is really critical and important for us. There is a commitment to at least a metre of that area on the edge of the verge. But equally, I've seen situations where, in residential areas where they have green space, the grass has been less to grow, and that's clearly an area for children to play locally. So that's not, you can't have one policy that sits across it, and so you've got to be mindful of that. And that was something which, we sort of spoken with the cabinet member. So I think we need to find the right balance. that comes in. But equally, you know, so outside in more rural locations, doesn't matter, so you would allow that combination for those birds to grow. So I do see a number of complaints that come, particularly where people are approaching landowner and they complain that the grass is growing and they can't see oncoming traffic, perhaps in order to predict to carry on driving or not. Well, that's amazing, because they are big roads. You need to stop doing shit, you're not just trying to predict. So, you know, I've seen complaints of that, which I can't really apologise, but that's about driving careful on the highway. But I think there is something we need to look at that distincts, you know, our rural settings from more urban settings. Hopefully, and again, we'll come back to the by exactly. I want to meet the council registers, we'll do that.
So, that's good.
Thank you. A bit like the thanks to Ron and Catherine Russell for coming down and speaking. I think it's very important. I was heartened as Catherine was to hear your comments about the structure and the important that is the transformation is potentially on the target to occur. Recently, was really thoughts about how that performance of the minds. However, one of the concerns we see, or I see, is that over the course of the pandemic, we've seen a lot of desk-based studies on highways responses to some quite significant development. And although now we are well out of restrictions and movement and travel is now allowed, those desk-based studies still continue. I'd like to hear why we're in so many desk-based highway studies rather than people actually coming out and looking at the importance of these. I'd like some reassurances that will stop basically when we get proper assessments, because some of these developments have a big impact on the community, a big impact on the highways, and really deserve better than a desk-based highways study. And it needs to so.
Okay, thank you for your question. It feels like I need to invite the cabinet and the highway infrastructure.
Would be very useful, yes.
You know, so there's not that one. Look, I think there's two elements. Clearly during the pandemic, there was a lot of desk-based study going on for that, and that's not, and I know as an ex-district councillor, how frustrating that can be for planning and significant planning development when you know, you see highways haven't really, you know, visited. So I need to have a look at how much is that is being done because of the pandemic and how much is it being done because of convenience.
I think the pandemic is surely convenience.
You know, and you know, that may well be the one of the reasons, but we will take that back and have a look at. And I think what we're talking about, this is a big demand on our housing development, and it's already creeping infrastructure. We want highways to be, you know, much more critical of the development that's there, and also being more helpful in identifying what the mitigation factors would be needed to, you know, to help the planning authority develop, you know, 106 or SILs or any other, you know, mitigation factors within their development. So I'd like to see that more sort of enhanced, and again, we'll come back to
Any questions? Councillor Amos.
Can I ask Councillor Russell, what is involved with the early help scheme? What exactly is involved there? And to Councillor Marshall, what is the county council doing to reduce public spending?
yeah.
So, thank you, Councillor Amos. Yeah, Early Help is a service that is aligned to social care. It's not to be confused with early years, which is health visitors, midwives, you know, health check, health child, that sort of thing. That they support it. But actual early help is about helping struggling families that are in difficulty, and assign them a family worker to help them to go work through those difficulties, to avoid so they can cope and to prevent them from requiring more intensive work through statutory intervention, which is social care. So it's early intervention. It's a service that we give. It's not a statutory service because there's no set model for early help. There's no set design of it. So each authority will have their different take on how they deliver their early help. But it's about getting family workers to go in and work with families who are in the early stages of struggling to hopefully avoid them going into social care.
I think I'll just add a bit more on that, so before I come back to you. Early help social care intervention, that's really what we're talking about. These are families who, and we're all, and I've got a family, we're all getting in trouble sometimes with each other. And this is where something really simple, we could be sending for education centres, could be our health departments, it could be police, could be local communities. And they say, I think there's a family needs some help. And if we can get in early, we can prevent that from being what we call an intervention, which is where you take children away from their parents. You know, and what we know is, in all of those instances that we've been involved where we engaged in early help social care, only 3% of cascading into an intervention. Only 3%. And it's absolutely critical that we do that. What we do know is the families that need our help don't come to these centres. They're not accessible. They don't come to them. We need to create an agile workforce that goes to the people that need it. And this is not a cost-saving exercise. 3 years ago, we were spending 100 million on children's services. We now spend 130 million. It's not cost, it's repurposing that money, which goes on to your second part of the question, you know, about reducing public spend. So it's repurposing that money to really deliver. So it's not about running buildings under an early help social care budget that the bulk of the families that need our help don't come to. It's about making sure that that group of people is out there targeting those families that really need our help. Look, you know, the challenges on the pandemic, we know in this county, we've seen over 800 people die from COVID-19. You know, within that, we've had 130,000 people in this county furloughed. And you're within close proximity to the Gatwick economy. And we've seen that revenue drop by 61%, you know, in terms of it. And 40% of people have lost their jobs. So our resources are about prioritising the needs of now. So we have set a council plan that there with the 4 objectives, and one of those objectives is about making the best use of our resources. And it does, you know, involve making some really tough decisions. We'll invest like we're investing in our children's homes, you know, we're investing because actually we're going to be providing the right sort of service they need, as opposed to buying that in the private market that may involve going out of county, which is significantly, the cost is probably something in the region 30% more, and they're not in county. So that's some of the, you know, I'm hoping that that's answering some of your questions, Councillor that's in there. But we do need to review and make sure that our services, I'll give you another example. Our adults, you know, there is a tendency sometimes to be risk averse, and urban residents are putting residential care. When you talk to those residents, they don't want to be in care, they want to get home, they want to be independent, but they need the resources to be, you know, for them. that's there. So it's really important for that, and that's it's about how we can create independence for this, and they're all difficult areas that need to look at. So it's how we strengthen domiciliary care that that gives people those needs. So hopefully that's giving you a flavour. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Stokes.
Thank you. Two things I want to say. I want to congratulate Councillor Russell, team, Douglas, for what they've done for themselves. It's absolutely thank you very much. The other one I was just mentioning was education. I am the county council governor for Blackwood Primary School. When I joined it, I was absolutely appalled at the results that were before us. When I went into the governor's meeting, it's what you said originally, there's a defensive atmosphere, we're doing our best, etc. And it obviously wasn't good enough. I went to our MP, who contacted the then leader of Sussex, and everything changed. And only good things came from it. We went into the academy and standards, the whole school is a different school. And I'm sure that I just wanted to say that if you do have someone from outside auditing, it does make a difference, because you can get very parochial within your own, and if you say something, it's quite difficult as an outsider. So I do think it's really important that these, not only in the schools, but in every other hall that you look after, you do have this outside audit that can bring in an overview of what is actually happening, because it's very easy for you just to have your own body of business. If you have someone else who comes in with an overall view, a different perspective, I think it really is good. I see that's what you're doing, and I think you're doing a tremendous job. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment. I agree, and independent, we can't sit here knocking our own home, which is what we're doing. And if we're an integrated council, we don't talk to people, but then we only touch ourselves when we tell them what we're doing right, but we don't tell ourselves what we're doing wrong. And that independence, and in my opening comments earlier, I talked about progress, and I did make the point that this is not as often it's an independence one, whether it's Minister for NHCLG or HMRICI or Ofsted of the Commissioner. And it's really important to get those independent levels progress that's being made. And again, in the schools.
Thank you. I don't think there's a more important job to do than the care and protection of children. And I've spoken to Jeffrey Russell about some various cases I know of where there's been appalling treatment of parents, for example, in the secret courts, where in fact representations from the legitimate councils in fact appoint the solicitor for the child, the grandparents are excluded. There are all sorts of awful things, absolutely scandalous. Can you update us on what the situation there is now in the courts? Is it a more liberal policy? Is it more accessible to families and the press, etc., than it was, because it was a pretty appalling situation?
You're right. The legal process for either intervention or even for adoption from fostering to permanent.
Well, councils are being paid to adopt children at one stage. Whereas in the council's interest, they've got a payment for placing children into families.
I'm aware of the payment process for adoption. We pay families to foster. That's what we do. When a family wants to adopt, they want to adopt. We don't pay. So I'm not quite sure what that is. But going back to if I think I've heard it properly, what we had was a creaking court system that wasn't very helpful for whatever the cycle was. And it's been challenging for many years. And we have then, and this was one of the key areas that was targeted in the improvement programme for children was getting better access and more timely access for our families in whatever, legal proceedings would be. And what we have done also is that we've dedicated more social workers to that process to help smooth that. And recent feedback from our improvement programme from the courts is they're beginning to see a difference in that.
West Sussex, but I know the person, but we're going to be much longer than before. They were out there and